Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Career Reshaped. I'm Pauline, one of the career coaches. In the next 10 minutes, we are going to change the way that you think about resumes fundamentally. Forget everything that you've heard about formatting and buzzwords. Today, we're focusing on strategy, facts, and measurable impacts. First, I would like to start by prefacing that your resume isn't a history report. It's not a job description. It's a marketing document, really targeted, very specific sales pitch to a particular job role that you want to apply for. Your resume should be designed to sell the solution to a hiring manager's problem. Our goal is to make sure that your application survives the first crucial step, the application tracking system or ATS, and the subsequent 6-second scan by a human recruiter. Let's start with the resume purpose and the ATS barrier. I would like to begin with two facts that define the modern job search. Fact 1. The ATS barrier. Nearly 98% of Fortune 500 companies use an application tracking system. They screen resumes before a human ever sees them. The ATS filters candidates based on keywords delivered directly from the job application. If your resume doesn't use the specific technical skills, tools, and certifications mentioned in the posting, it often gets auto-rejected. Now, it doesn't mean that your resume is deleted from the system. It just means that it's at the bottom of the list and marked as not compatible. Now, I understand that there are some people out there that will tell you that ATS is just one big fear-mongering scam. You shouldn't fear it. It's not as scary as it sounds, and it is really easy to bypass. But ATS is used. It is implemented for hiring managers. And I'll be honest with you, if I was still recruiting today, I would use it. The 6-second scan. Recruiters spend on average 6 to 7 seconds on the initial scan of your resume. They are not reading paragraphs. They're looking for visual cues. Things such as your job title, company names, and most importantly, the quantifiable result. This is why key achievements are so important. So my advice is that your first draft must be tailored to beat the ATS. Look at the job description, make a list of 10 to 15 key skills and technologies. Ensure those exact words are woven naturally into your resume, especially the summary, that professional profile at the top section. That part of the resume, in my opinion, is the golden real estate. Then you need to make sure that the most relevant information is easily seen and accessible to the hiring manager's eye. That is why placement and where you put key information within the document is so crucial. You don't want to put quantified results, for example, at the very last page of the resume, because chances are in that 7-second scan, they're not going to make it to the last page. The power of a professional profile and header. Let's talk about that. So the top 1/3 is your most valuable real estate. That's the section that you need to work on, because that's the section that's going to grab the hiring manager's attention first and foremost. And depending on how you tailor that will depend if they're going to continue reading your resume and read it in a lot more detail. Let's talk about the header contact information. So here's a fun fact. Many people still include their full address. Don't. You only need your name, your phone number, your professional email, I want to preference that professional, and your LinkedIn URL. A clean, customized LinkedIn URL is a non-negotiable. The professional profile and summary. I love this part of the resume because this is the elevator pitch. It shouldn't be more than 3 to 5 lines and not a list of vague adjectives. The wrong example is something like this. It's too vague. But the right strategy is to use the section to hit the most critical keywords from the job description and summarize your value proposition. So an example would be this. And here is a little actionable advice. The summary should directly answer the question, why should I keep reading in under 5 seconds? Quantify your impact, the what, how, and result. This is the most crucial section. Maybe it's not my most favorite section, but it is the most crucial. The experience section. The biggest mistake job seekers make is confusing duties with achievement. The duties, it's what you were paid to do. So, for example, responsible for managing the company's social media accounts. That's great. It's the same duties as 500 other applicants. I want to know what your achievements were. What makes you different from others? What is your value add? So let's talk about the measurable results that you generated. For instance, you increased organic social media engagement by 150% in 6 months, resulting in over 500 qualified leads. See, now I can actually measure and hold on to the value that you bring. It's not just words. It is now proven result. So here's the golden rule, the YXZ formula. Every bullet point should follow this formula. X is for accomplishments measured by Y, by doing Z. So, not to confuse you, here's an example. And here's another fun-driven tip. When you can't use hard dollar amounts, quantify with other metrics. That's absolutely fine. For example, time saved, efficiency improved, percentages increased, decreased, the team size, number of projects that you completed, frequency or scope. It's not all about the dollar value. So use numbers wherever possible. They are the most powerful visual cues for a busy recruiter. Numbers stand out way more than words do. Formatting and organization. Recruiter-friendly design. Remember the 6-second scan? So formatting is key in directing the recruiter's eye. You got to lead the eye like any good marketing campaign does. So layout and spacing. Look, the ideal resume length for most professionals is 1 page. However, if you have 10 plus years of relevant experience, you can use 2 or even 3 pages. It can even be up to 5 if you have to. You don't want to cram everything into 1 page and now the recruiter is unable to read the information effectively. You want to lay it out so it's easy to see. That's why really good font and its sizing is also important. So fonts like Calibri, Arial, or even Times New Roman, nothing smaller than size 11. Try to use plenty of white space and bolding to guide the eye. Bold the company names, your titles, any key quantified results in your bullet point. And the skills section. Divide your skills into technical skills. So, for example, everything that's digital related. Certain software, certain CRM, certain programs. And the soft skills, so leadership, communication, problem solving. And then the hard skills. So the skills that you need to do the job. For example, data recording, report writing, metric analysis. List the technical skills in a clear, separate, keyword-rich section. Now this could be the top or the bottom. It does depend on the role. But this is a great place to put in those vital keywords. Don't embed technical skills solely into long paragraphs. They can and will be missed. And the final polish and call to action. Proofread twice. A single typo can be grounds for rejection. It signals a lack of attention to detail. So use grammar checkers and then have a friend read it out loud. Save as a PDF. By saving it as a PDF, it will ensure that the formatting stays in place. And my very last tip is to tailor your resume. Yes, for every single job application. Never use a single generic resume. Spend those 15-20 minutes tailoring. Your future self will thank you. The tailoring is the key to passing the ATS and catching the recruiter or HR manager's eye. In summary, adjusting 3 to 5 bullet points to match the language and requirements of that specific job description will be that game changer. What I want you to take away from this is that your resume is a prediction of future success. It's not a ledger of past responsibilities. So focus on the impact you made, the value you added, and the results you achieved. Because if you can do it with that company, then the hiring manager will certainly believe and trust that you can do it for their company too. Thank you for spending the last 10 minutes with me. Now go out there and build that powerful, fact-driven resume. And if you want to know more about my career angels, then I'm leaving the link to our website in the captions. See you next time.